morning. It's starting to warm up here. Little by little, we'll be in the mid 40s today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Well, did I miss a day? Friday? What the heck was that? I think there's snow still sliding off the roof of the house. That was weird. I'm hearing boom. It's probably sliding off the solar panels. If I had to guess. It would be a good guess, because I've heard it before. Anyway, good morning. As we take that oil tanker that was on the run, and we have officially, we are under control of it now. Meanwhile, there was a Russian destroyer and a Russian sub nearby when it happened. What the heck is that? I'm hearing all kinds of weird noises in the house. So we're going to have to see how that all develops, eh? All right, let me go live on TikTok, because we're on Facebook. I hope what I heard wasn't like a little explosion, because I'm hearing emergency vehicles. Everything's melting. There's still snow out there, but everything's melting. I don't know. I'm hearing all kinds. I hear like a bang, and all of a sudden I'm hearing emergency vehicles. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Good morning, Candace. So, the latest in the news. I'll do the news first without getting too cray-cray. Oh, I got to go live on TikTok. Hold on, because I don't want to have to say this twice. All right, go live. It is good. Oh my gosh, I thought I went live already. Good Wednesday morning. Overall chat about topics, and then possibly gaming. That's probably what I'll end up doing. Oh yeah, I'm hearing emergency vehicles. I heard something. I thought it was the snow sliding off the roof. It might have been some kind of like a small explosion. So now I'm hearing all kinds of emergency vehicles. Not even funny. I heard like a thump. I got my Tamiflu, my drops. I heard like, and now I'm hearing all the emergency vehicles. Something's up. So we have captured, well, we're under control of, the chase was on once it left Venezuela. And we finally got it. Even though they tried to put a Russian flag on it. Even though there was a Russian destroyer and a Russian sub nearby. That tanker has been seized. That's what they're saying. Now, this is just like breaking. I'm going to look. The Greenland thing, I'm not so sure about. So now it looks like we're any country that has minerals or security, we're just going to take it. I don't, like, some are saying, no, they're going to sell it, or we're going to negotiate with them. And some of them are backing off about the use of military force. Have you ever seen Greenland? They don't have the capacity to defend themselves necessarily military. Have you ever seen Greenland? You could literally just like land there and just, there's nothing there to, it's, I have to say it, I'm just saying it. It's there for the taking. It's not like they've got armed forces and a big military. I'm just saying. I was looking at the Greenland geographical makeup of what their little cities are, if you want to call them cities. It ain't much. I'm just saying. I mean, it wouldn't take much. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I'm just saying. It wouldn't be that difficult, even though we do have a couple of bases there already. The space base, it is actually called the space base. And then there's another one, I think, to the south. But some of the Republicans are backing off that military talk. I'm not saying military. I'm saying it's up to the president to decide what he wants to do with this. But some of them are not touching that military option thing. Even Mike Johnson was asked the question. He goes, I don't know. I don't know. What did the president, who said it? Actually, the president didn't say it. Actually, the White House press release was that they mentioned it. I didn't hear the president say it. Did anybody else hear the president say it? I didn't. Maybe he has. I did not hear that. It was a White House press release. They need to get on the same page with the president before they start releasing stuff. That's first of all. And I'm with Toxic. Let's just see if we can, or at least create an agreement where we militarily control that for defensive and possibly offensive posture. Work a deal with Greenland. Doesn't mean we have to own it. Why can't you work with them and do the things you want to do there? Negotiate some kind of deal where they benefit too. I mean, does it have to be buy or we want it? Either the easy way or the hard way. I'm just saying. Cuba is definitely on the radar. I am telling you, Cuba is on the radar. It would make Marco Rubio's wet dream. I hate to say it like that, but it is something he's always wanted. So Cuba is one to keep an eye on. I'm telling you, that could be similar to seeing, and it's crazy, because if you remember the Godfather 2 movie, I think it was it the 2? Where they were going over to Cuba to invest in hotels and make it a tourist attraction, you know, the gangsters. They were going to cash in on that, like Vegas. And then there was the revolution with Castro. And they were, we're out. Well, you start hearing Lindsey Graham, this could be a great tourist location. You know, it's like full circle. Because think of Havana, Cuba, before Castro. I mean, that says it all. Go watch The Godfather 2. You'll see it in the movie. I'm just saying. Oh, my gosh. And I'm not saying this like if I'm for or against. I'm just putting it out there. But those people in Cuba have been waiting a long time. You don't think the Cubans want democracy? Okay, another thing too is when, like right now, there is no democracy in Venezuela. It's actually worse now than when Maduro was in power, and I'll tell you why. They got their paramilitary quelling the people for celebrating on the streets now. If you ask the Venezuelan people, because I've been looking at the Spanish news here, They're not happy. Yes, they're happy that Maduro's gone, but they're not happy about what's here there now. They thought, this is what they thought. They thought Gonzalez, the president of the United States, would say, we're going to support democracy and we're going to put in the person that was elected legitimately instead of Maduro, the person that was actually elected, which is Gonzalez, the male, to be the president. But no, he went with the vice president, which was stupid. Maybe he thought she's a woman, he could push her over. I don't know. That would have been the great thing that would have sent a great message for the Venezuelan people. We want to bring democracy there. You voted for the person that was legitimately elected, Gonzalez. Especially if you're saying that Maduro is illegitimate. Well, if he's illegitimate, so is his vice president. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. Because that was handpicked by him. She was. So that shit doesn't make sense. In practical terms to the Venezuelan people. They're like, they're happy that Maduro's gone. I mean, the guy was brutal. But they're not happy about how this all ended up. Because they're saying the paramilitary are on the streets and are quelling them and making life even worse for them now. Because now they got the paramilitary groups, the guerrilla groups on the streets of Venezuela to stop their people, to oppress them. It's like what the IRGC security forces do in Iran. Now they got their goons out in Caracas and all that. So it didn't really help that way. Not if you look at what's going on, if you check, you probably wouldn't understand it because it's in Spanish. It could be translated. Not so good. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Now, under the Constitution, which this is another thing that makes no sense to me, they're supposed to have elections between 60 and 90 days when an interim president is seated. But then you hear our side saying, oh, they're not going to have any elections until we can stabilize what's going on. But that's not in the Venezuelan Constitution. We're saying that, but that's not how their constitution is written. You can look it up. Don't take my word for it. There's difference when they put somebody in there. There's two different variables here. Like I said, go look it up. Venezuelan Constitution replacing president, leadership. You'll find it. So hopefully they have due process and they have elections, which could be monitored by us. I wouldn't necessarily trust the international community, especially after that UN fiasco the other day. It could be monitored by us. Let us take control, put our people in position, that people go to vote and we collect it and we count it. And people are going to say, oh, it's going to be rigged by us. You know the world is going to, not everyone, but a lot of people are going to say, oh, you guys are doing this on purpose and you're going to rig it. Well, you know what? Screw you and what you think. That's like the other day with the UN. They're all like outraged and they're saying international law. Whoa, 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 whoa. When a country like the United States says it's about national security, fuck international law. Period. Who are you to tell me what I need to do for the best interest of my national security of the country? International law is out the window. We have to do what we got to do. You're not going to dictate to us what we can or cannot do as a country when we know this is a national security issue. Bullshit. I don't want to hear it. Because if it happens to you, you're going to say the same thing about international law too. We got to do what's best for our country. This is a national security threat. Right? That whole South America is a mess. So that really got me. that UN. There goes Mom. What is it, Mom? I'm live. What?
This is the most beautiful thing.
What?
The most beautiful thing.
What is the most beautiful thing?
I'm in my bed,
Uh-huh.
and then he comes. He came back here, and then he goes in my room and starts begging me to give him food.
Oh, he's like that. You know, he goes to you for the food. He goes to me for walking him outside.
So, put the light on because I have to cook for him.
So, I will when you come into the room, yes.
Like, you're just hungry.
It's too early for this. It's just too early. And I'm still not feeling well. And I got to do some shows. At least for the rest of the week until it is officially done for me. When I discussed this the other day, it's sad, but one chapter ends, another one begins. The end of the KGRA chapter and the beginning of the Annex chapter begins. What's up, Elliot? How are you? It is what it is. Life goes on. Anyway, let me... Elliot, I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. So here, okay. The sanctioned tanker, originally known as the Bella One and now called the Marinera, is now in U.S. custody. The United States European Command has confirmed. Oh my God! Yes, look in the refrigerator. You'll find them. U.S. boarded the tanker in the North Atlantic between Iceland and Scotland as it was traveling north. A Russian submarine and warship were close by, two U.S. officials told Reuters. Alexa, stop. A U.S. official told the Associated Press the military seized the vessel and handed over control to law enforcement officials. In a statement on X, Pete Hegseth, the U.S. Secretary of War, said the blockade of sanctioned and illicit Venezuelan oil remains in full effect anywhere in the world.
The Knicks play the Clippers tonight.
Alexa, stop. So, there you go. And here's a picture. And the best thing... Okay, I'll be right back. I can't even... Right on the bottom. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. They're right there. In the bottom of that shelf. The bottom. I'm live. Here. Where's the hot dogs? Here. I'm live. Anyway, where was I? Let's see if we can find... And I'm telling you, keep a close eye on Iran. I am telling you, I'm waiting to see where the Abraham Lincoln and the Theodore Roosevelt carriers are. I'm really curious. Let's see. Hold on. So allegedly, this is the video. Right here. So allegedly, this is it. Taking the tanker. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. I could easily download it. So this is the video. And you can see it says the Russian warships and a submarine were nearby. They did nothing and just watched. So there you go. And hopefully it pulls up the Russian presence. They were watching, but they didn't do anything. So, yeah. And that occurred a few hours ago. And yeah, there are pictures all over the place. And yes, that was an image of the Russian warships and a submarine. Because I just confirmed it. Let's see, is this another one? This could be another one. I am not saying that it is, okay? I am not confirming. This is what they're stating here, that this is a video. So, allegedly, this is the video when forces took over, our forces took over that tanker, oil tanker that was on the run from Venezuela, that changed to a Russian flag, and there was Russian warships nearby, but did nothing. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow. That's like, wow. And this happened a few hours ago. Oh my God, this house is going to drive me nuts this morning. So again, I cannot confirm this. This is what they're putting up on X. That this was the video when they seized the oil tanker that left Venezuela. So who knows? This is what they're publishing. I cannot confirm it, but this is allegedly the video of the tanker being seized a few hours ago while Russian warships were nearby. Yep, Russia did nothing. I do not know. That's a good question, Mel. But I'll show you another image. Hold on. I gotta get that clock off.
Put the light on.
Alexa, turn on light. Meanwhile, in the background, I got things going on in the house, as you could hear.
Well, you
All right, Mom, I'm live. Okay.
Shut up.
Okay. Allegedly, again, I have to say allegedly
Get your water.
because I cannot confirm. This just was posted on X. Those were the Russian warships just watching from a distance and looking at what was going on right here. So, yeah. See, the Russian warships present near the tanker during the seizure took no countermeasures. So, you think they would? I don't think they would. Could you imagine? So, that's what happened a few hours ago. And you're just seeing the video. And there's another one. And again, I cannot confirm. But it definitely looks similar to the one we just seen. Oh, it definitely looks similar, so it could be tied. All right, here's another one. Yeah, they tried to pull a fast one and put a Russian flag on it to see if it would be protected from being seized. But, interestingly enough, there were Russian ships present. So was it really destined? I don't know. So this looks like the video from the opposite side that we just seen. It looks like this was taken from the other side. And they look very similar, so it looks like this could be really it. See, that was from the other angle. The other video is coming from the opposite view. Definitely. Look at them coming down. So I think this is credible, to be honest. Because looking at the other video, it's just taken from a different perspective, a different angle. Hold on, there's another one. European Space Command. This is issued by the U.S. European Command. The Justice Department and DHS Gov, in coordination with the Department of War, today announced the seizure of the Bella, which it changed its name to the, I forgot the other name that it changed to. For violations of UN sanctions, the vessel was seized in the North Atlantic pursuant to the warrant issued by the U.S. federal court after being tracked down. Right there. So, yeah. And like I said, this video looks like it's taken from the other side, and it pretty much looks like the video we just seen, but from a different angle. This one. Because you could see the helicopter coming in the other video from the opposite side camera view. And look, they're dropping. And what is that? Did you see something else drop? I thought I saw something else drop. It's amazing. Just to see this is... Good morning, Lorraine. I believe this was near Iceland. Somewhere in the vicinity of Iceland. So yeah, that went down a few hours ago. Alexa, shut light.
Okay.
Now, obviously, logistically, where is it headed to now? Who knows? But it was the Marinera. It was called the Bella 1. And then they changed it. And it was sailing under a Russian flag. That's what it says. And again, here are the Russian presence nearby, but just sat there and just watched as all this was going down. Now, this is near Iceland. So I think when we talk, when you hear the talk about Greenland, that's in the neighborhood. And look, you got a sub, Russian warship. Just saying. It's in the neighborhood. That North Atlantic. Just saying. it's an interesting development. Now, what time is it? It is 11. No, oh my God, it's only 10:15. And I got a fever and I'm sitting here and I got to do shows later. My last 3 days, but I got a ton today. It's like, oh. Let's see what's going on here now. Oh my God. Let's just flip the script a little bit. And this is day 11 of the protests in Iran. And it's happening in so many of their cities. I mean, look at all those people. This is today. Even in the daytime. And the latest I heard is 29 unalived and 1,200 detained, arrested. But look at this. This isn't just a simple protest. This is happening across the country. This is different. It is really different. Good morning, Witch Moon. So this is day 11, as it says there. It is day 11. That's why I was looking at the time. It's Alexa, what time is it in Tehran, Iran right now?
It's 6:45 p.m. in Tehran right now.
It's already nighttime, so you can only imagine what's going on now. I heard there, and there was a video, I saw it on Tusi. Tusi's doing a great job, Tusi TV, of police officers joining the people. They even have things written on, they're writing stuff on the walls. Trump is for peace. Like, they're writing it on the wall. Thank you, President Trump, for your support. They're actually writing that on the walls. There was a person who they wrote it on a piece of paper. They're sending a message to our president. I've seen the videos. It's amazing. And again, I'm not talking from a political perspective. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Now we have to see if anything develops from it. So these are just some videos coming out of Iran, which is really difficult. And look at the security forces in black. But they're outnumbered. They are outnumbered. And look, they're retreating. They're retreating from the people. Look, the people are throwing rocks at them and everything. They're retreating. They're outnumbered. Look at the masses of people. They're running. They are running. They're scattering. Now, that could be IRGC. That could be the security forces, the goon squad. Who knows? But look at this. Look, the people are going after them. They're in retreat. And that's the power of the people. In mass numbers. Good luck. What are you going to do? Take them all out? Look at that. They retreated. They ran. They're gone. That's amazing. Blessings to the people of Iran. They want change. They've had it. Of course, it has a lot to do with their economy. Just think how much money Iran is spending on proxy, on their own military. But the people are like, what about us? What about us? Where's the money that you're selling drones to Russia? You're getting money for the drones that they're using in Ukraine? Where's the money? I heard that there's a stash that the Supreme Leader has that's worth 95 billion? Don't quote me on that number. It was around that figure. I was like, whoa. There's been a lot of big cargo planes flying in from Belarus, Russian planes, constant coming in and landing in Tehran. And people are wondering, what is that about? Are they bringing military aid? Or are they getting the supreme leader's stuff out and going back to Russia? Because they know it's a matter of time. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of speculation right now. Like, look at this one. Hold on. I'm not feeling too well, so I'm just trying to breathe. Look at all the people. The power of the people. And they made the IRGC or whatever security forces run. How are you going to take on, and if you start to use live fire on them, oh gosh. Oh my gosh. So they're trying to use water cannons. They don't have that much water, so they got to be careful with that. Tear gas. They're trying whatever they can to counter the protesters. It's not working. You got to see the images coming in at night, all the fires everywhere. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is all over the place in Iran. And I think how difficult it is for these Iranian people to do what they're doing, because they're using AI to mask them, get their identities, and then go in and arrest them. So you'll see a lot of blurry videos because of that, because they're trying to protect the people. It's not, it's for obvious reasons. It's pretty obvious, but look at this. This must have been last night. Look at all those people. It is unbelievable what's going on in Iran. It's unbelievable. This isn't a simple protest. This is widespread throughout the country. It's just not like something happening in Tehran. It's happening everywhere. See, they really got to be careful showing faces. It's one thing to show them on their backs, but don't show their faces. Protect them. Look at this. Look at all the people. And you got to think about it. The IRGC must be spread thin because they're trying to contain this all around the country, let alone their paranoia that Israel's about to launch an attack with the United States. So they're spread thin. Because what I heard is that Netanyahu sent a message to Putin that Israel does not plan on attacking, take that for whatever it's worth, Iran. Iran is paranoid right now. Would they do a preemptive strike against Israel? That would be the stupidest thing they could do. Because then that's it. They're done. Then they're going to target leadership. They're going after them. It's over. That would be no bueno. I don't think they're that foolish. Especially, would you call the president's bluff? Would you? Really? And this has nothing to do if you like the president or dislike the president. This is about what's going on. And when the president says something, it seems he carries out on his word, no? I guess maybe we'll see. But I wouldn't call the bluff. It would be foolish for Iran to do that. I think. Very foolish. Let's see what else is coming out. So, like, I've been telling people on the private side, keep an eye on Iran. I mean, like, really. And now I cannot tell if this is from today because it's nighttime now in Iran. They're using a lot of tear gas. I don't know if this is from earlier today locally in Iran. But you can see they're using a lot of tear gas to break up the protesters. You can see the tear gas. And you got to see what's going on at the bazaar. The main business district. Oh my gosh. That's like the center hub of their business district. And it is crazy, some of the videos I've been seeing over there. So there's a lot going on. This is day 11. And it's spreading all over. They don't have no control over this. The people are coming out in masses. And they've detained, the last number I heard was 1,200. Unalived, because I'm on TikTok. The latest I heard was 29, but the estimate's that it's higher. Sadly. It's hard, to be getting true numbers on the ground because Iran is doing their best to try to prevent information getting out. Russia responds after U.S. Hold on, let's see what they're saying here. Russia responds, Daily Mail. Let's see what the Russian response is. Why don't we? Why? Oh, wait a minute. The Coast Guard also captured a second vessel, the motor tanker Sophia, off the coast of the Caribbean, a coordinated operation on Wednesday morning. I didn't hear about that one. Okay. The Russian Transport Ministry then responded, saying to Pete Hegseth's post, no state has the right to use force against vessels properly registered in other countries' jurisdictions. It added that U.S. forces boarded the Marinera at 3 p.m. Moscow time, where communications were shortly lost with the vessel after. So, Russia's foreign ministry earlier said that the vessel was in international waters as acting accordingly to maritime law. So, that's all that Russia said. Russia better be careful. And I'll say this, why? The president might just decide. Remember, I've been saying this for months. Who has a vast amount of resources? Ukraine. More than Venezuela, not as oil, but minerals, rare earth, treasure trove. Ukraine. He might just say, screw you, Putin. I'm gonna take over those assets in Ukraine and we're gonna push you back. And now, game on. Now, I don't know if that would happen. I'm just saying, because you hear that a lot. Where you were Greenland, it's about strategic positioning, but they also brought up the minerals point. Lots of minerals there. Venezuela is not just oil. It's got minerals too. Ukraine has trillions of dollars sitting underneath. Trillions and trillions of dollars worth. So, and see, I know some people in chats are saying, oh, this could be the beginning of World War III. I get it. I get everybody's point and perspective here. I'm just putting it out there the way I see what's going on. It's not a political position I'm taking. I'm just putting this out there. It's for everybody else to think about and reach your own conclusions. I'm just looking at everything coming out. It's like, whoa. because it is a lot. There's a lot going on. A lot of people are like saying what the video I showed earlier with the huge crowds in Iran, people can't believe it. What's going on in Iran? Well, believe it. And the mainstream media should be putting this on. I don't know if they are. Maybe somebody can tell me if they are covering what's going on in Iran. Is the mainstream media covering this? Well, they should. Because they're going to say, oh, the United States just launched a preemptive strike on Iran. Well, what did the president say? If they shoot at their people, we're going to rescue the Iranian people. We are ready, locked, loaded, ready, whatever, I'm paraphrasing. They're going to, I don't know how the media would try to portray this. But they should start talking about what's going on in Iran, as to not take it out of context if something were to happen. No? To be fair, look at all these people. Yes, toxic, that's what I heard them mention. Now I could look it up. I'm going to look it up. But look at all those people. Oh, hold on. There's a map. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Oh, hecka yes, yes. Oh, my gosh. Look at this article. Newsweek. Map shows how Greenland's rare earth minerals compare to the rest of the world. Look what it says here. Greenland possesses some of the world's largest untapped reserves of rare earth elements. That says it all. Right there. Bang. That's it. So yes, it's right there. And it shows the points. You could click on it. Oh my God, I gotta bookmark this. See, this is important information. This is important. I mean, it even highlights what's in here. Wow. They got quite the bit. Untapped. Untapped. And this is probably, what is that noise? And this is places that we can identify. Oh, there's more. It's all over the place. So the answer is yes. Clearly, yes. That's a big deal. So you can see the interests here. I'm still looking at these other videos from Iran. What the heck is that? Don't tell me he went after them with the bulldozer. Dump truck. I can't make out what that video is supposed to be about. It doesn't even make too much sense, to be honest. What does it say? Oh, wow. That's what the importance is of that dump truck. People empty the middle of the street with dump trucks carrying stones so they can confront Khomeini's repressive forces. Stones against war bullets. We will fight. We will take back Iran. So there are dump trucks going around dumping stones on the streets so they can throw them. That's unbelievable. What's up, Mike? Look, they're dumping stones so they can have something to throw back. To me, and I'm just saying, I would get some Molotovs. But then they might spur them to really go all out, and it might not be good. What's up, Storm Chaser and Storm? If that's the same person. But yeah, they're going around dumping rocks on the streets. I know Storm's going to want to know the weather. So let me just do that quickly. Because I know he probably wants a weather update. Because he comes all the time and asks, Bill, what's going on? We'll do that really quick. So yeah, there's a little breeze going on. I know where you are. You're right in here somewhere. You can see there's, a little wind going on. It's actually warming up here. It's going to be in the 40s for the next 5 days. But I would keep an eye in this area here as this high pressure is developing. Is there going to be this warm, moist air coming into the midsection here and cold air coming in to create nasty weather? It is possible. As it shows right there. There it is. Texas. Tomorrow. Look at this. You got colder air coming in behind it from this low. Warm air coming out of the Gulf. You could have stormy weather. Look at that. And there's a low, and you're going to get that cold air clashing. You're probably going to have nasty weather. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. This is Thursday afternoon. Look at this warm air coming up and colliding with this cold air with this low. This is going to be nasty in here. Right in there tomorrow. For sure. This is tomorrow map with the Euro. Then it shifts east. Then there's another system, a low. Over here. But then this system, we'll get rain out of this because the temperature is just going to be too warm from this high pressure giving us that warmer air. So we'll get rain. Like I said, it's going to be in the 40s. This is Friday. There's another system. But it's staying to the north. Look at these warm temperatures coming up the northeast mid-Atlantic. Now, it changed here. They're going to cool off down here. Colder air is driving down. That is going to be a nasty system for these folks up here. Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio Valley, the lakes. Lake effect could be going on. So yeah, there's your weather. We're done with the weather. Sleet and snow here. It's going to be rain here. We should actually see what they're forecasting. I'll go to AccuWeather quick. Snow and ice to precede larger lake week storm in central eastern U.S. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be rain here. So this was this morning, and we did get rain. It was misty, foggy this morning. So this is Wednesday morning. You could see where the ice was and the snow to the north. Let's get rid of this guy. Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday. That's already done. It's sunny here now. There's that low pressure going up north. Late Thursday. Snow behind it. And that's what I said, Wisconsin. And here's that main system. The setup. Look at this. Very warm. Look at the rain down here in the midsection, the lower. And look how warm it is all here for rain. And these are thunderstorms. And that's what I said. Watch out for tomorrow, for storms, where it clashes. KJ's not here, but he's in the zone, Tennessee. And so are you, Toxic. Little Rock, Arkansas is pretty much covered. Here's the highest flooding risk. And there's that other system that I showed. Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. So yeah, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be rain for us. I do not see snow. Absolutely not with those temperatures here. Mike, I don't even think it's going to snow where you are. It's been nice there. You slept with the window open. We have 90s for Friday. What? What? And what state are you in, Witch Moon? You're going to be... No, don't say that. Where are you that it's going to be in the 90s? Where the heck are you? What state are you in? Check you, AccuWeather. Let's see. Oh my God, you're not there anymore. Hold on. It's not coming up. I forgot where the heck you are. Uh-oh. What is it again? Storm Chaser, where is it again? Where you're at? I forget. I'll look it up. It is Cumberland. Why isn't it coming up? Okay, here it is. I'll show you your weather, since you asked. Look at that, 52. Are you kidding me? It's going to be warm here too, though. Oh, it's going to be in the 50s. There's that system, rain and drizzle, rain. It'll be breezy on Sunday. Then the temperatures, you're fine. Your weather, it's just going to be rainy. Friday and Saturday. In the mid-50s, that's nice. For real. Can't complain about that weather. Not in January. Heck no. All right, here's another video from Iran. Wow. So there's a lot going on. A lot. There's a lot of people. And if they're smart, they cover their faces. At least cover your face. They've been tearing down a lot of the surveillance cams that the IRGC uses to monitor them. So it is now nighttime in Iran. It's close to 7 p.m., I believe. So there's, like I said, there's a lot going on. Let's check this one out. These are short. And remember, this is happening across the country. This is not isolated. This is widespread. See how they purposely blur it out? They got to be very careful not to show people's faces, because then they'll round them up. If they use AI, they'll identify these people. They're done. See how it blurs? So that's because they're doing that intentionally to protect the identities of these people, obviously. Which is, thank God they're doing that. You know, it's so easy to say people should uprise, you know, against a regime like this, a brutal dictatorship, when you got to go against their forces. And they're not armed, they're throwing rocks. But look how they're all out in such numbers, and you have to hear what they're saying. Death to the dictator, long live the king. You know, they are, that's it. This is it. This is a precipice here. We're looking at, I think this, and you can't say for sure. But I think if it's going to happen, this is the time. Then the opportunity like this, if they get suppressed with the conditions the way they are economically in Iran, and the amount of people that are coming out, if that regime doesn't fall now, and they are somehow managed to hold on, then I don't think it would ever happen. Because if anything, it's going to happen now. This is the time for the Iranian people. Now is the time. I honestly don't see an opportunity like this for those people. Not with the massive amount of people coming out across the entire country. I just don't see it. It really is. I'm just looking at other videos. I mean, yeah, there's fires. You know, they're setting tires on fire. And this was probably today, because today is day 11 of these protests. Throwback seems to have a lot of interesting posts. But that's old. Wow. I gotta watch the videos first because I am not gonna show anything graphic. I will not do that. That would be very irresponsible. Oh my God. Wow. This got me. They're showing the image of a 22-year-old woman, young woman, protester, who is now unalived, being shot by. Horrible. She was beautiful. What? See. And this one says Iran using Iraqi militias to help crush protests. They're bringing in the Iraqi militias. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just reading. What's up, Jake? I'm just reading. There are also protesters chant death to Khamenei across Tehran, while Basij deploys live fire. The regime is burning. Wow, I saw that video of that officer, and that's old, but just looking at some of these. Wow. Some of the video clips are short. Really short. Just think about trying to get this information out. Oh, this is at the bazaar, I think. Or maybe not. I can't tell. I'm going to show this one. I don't think it's the bazaar, but look at this. Men, women, even children are out there. Families. Grandparents. There are people of all ages out there. Mostly young, you could see. But you could see there are people there of all ages. If you look at some of these videos, it's like everyone. Like I said, it's nighttime now in Iran. And that's where it gets really dicey. Really. Iran, and this is true because I heard this on Tusi. I've been watching Tusi TV. He's Persian. He's Persian. On the Tuba de You. I recommend if this is something you're interested in, go check him out. His parents are in Tehran. Of course, he has friends and family there. Iran offers citizens $7 a month in a bid to cool protests. $7 a month? Like, are you serious? What? $7 to stop protesting? Are you kidding me? These people don't have water. They're hungry. No, oh my gosh, please stop it. Like, really? Oh, wow, there ain't many. This is interesting video. This is an interesting one. Look how many of them. The Iran, I don't know if that's IRGC. I don't know if that's some goon squad. I don't know what. But there ain't many of them. There's, there's a few on their motorcycles. That's what they do too. Holy shit, he just opened up the barricade for them. He's letting them in. Holy. And they're just retreating. They opened the barricade for the people to come through. They're kicking them. They need to run. They're trying to show we're not trying to resist you. But the people are so pissed. They're still going after them and throwing shit at them. Okay, now they're doing the tear gas. Or it looked like they were. They're just walking calmly away. It seemed... Oh, yes, there was. They did throw some tear gas. But did you see that? They opened the barricade. Watch again for sure. I want to see that. So they had initially put the... Oh, no, those are dumpsters like cans on fire. Look, 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 look. He's probably talking to them. They're pushing all that shit to the side. He says you could come through. They had to be because they got the green light. Wow. Wow. And they're probably trying to talk to the people. We're going to let you go through. They're just trying to walk calmly away, but the people are so pissed. They're still throwing rocks at them and all that. Or whatever they're throwing. But look how calmly they're walking away. They're not showing any resistance to them. They're just like, okay, we let you through. And then the people are getting aggressive, so they have to start running because they're angry. They're, of course. I'd be running too, even though people, and see now they did do something. They're just trying to protect themselves from retreating. Now you got to wonder, is that bus there for a reason? Look at all the people. Is that bus there purposely to block off the street? And hello to everybody on TikTok. That would be a good sign if they're starting to allow people in, not resisting them, not countering them, where they're just like, okay, come on through. Wow. I find that really interesting. Wow. Yeah, I seen that video. I'm not going to show because it shows faces. Okay, this is the bazaar. This is the main hub in Tehran where the businesses, the commercial district, where the merchants close shop. They said, we're done. These are the same merchants that supported the regime in 79. Well, they just closed their shit and say, we're done. So that's a sign. That's a big deal. They're not showing any allegiance now to this current regime. Because this is it. This is that area. Look at all the shuttered stores. They're all shut, pretty much. And look at all the people there. Good morning, Ben. Look at that. The people have taken over that area. That's pretty significant. You may not realize it, but that is significant. That would be like shuttering your main mall in the United States. Like a huge deal. In Tehran. That's unbelievable. It really is. You may not think it is. That is pretty significant. And I pray for these people. Because they're putting their lives. That's an old one. And there's so many of these videos. I mean, this could be all day long. Yeah, they're using water cannons in this video, which Iran does not have much of. Tehran, especially, they don't have much water there. You'll see in the beginning of this clip, they're trying to use water cannons to disperse. I believe it's this video. May not be. But you sure see a lot going on here. The people are rising. They are. And not for nothing, mainstream media here really should be covering this. I don't watch the news because I do my own research. Is anybody in these chats, can they tell me, is the mainstream media covering this at all? Or it's all about Venezuela, which I would probably guess, or Greenland right now. I would guess they're not covering this like they should be. If I had to guess. This is an older clip. It's widespread. I'm not seeing any comments, so. And I can only imagine showing the display of the flag with the lion. Okay, this is protests here, thank God, because if they were in Iran, that would not be a good thing. This was in front of the White House. And the president is fully supporting them. So this is Iranian protesters in front of the White House. And yes, to a democratic republic. Let the people of Iran decide the future of Iran. For real. But they want a democratic republic. They want it back. Not necessarily in, a monarchy. That's for the people to decide. Because there's a lot of, the Reza Pahlavi, I'm probably mispronouncing his name. The eldest son of the Shah. You leave that to the people. Okay, so this is what somebody posted. Day 11 of the Iranian protest movement for regime change. Iranians report receiving threatening texts warning them not to go protest, but more protests are growing. The regime seems to be weakened in an unprecedented way. There were also reports of the regime importing Kataib Hezbollah, T-word, from Iraq to assist in suppressing the protests. Despite everything, this is Iran this afternoon in the streets. Now I'll show the video. This is day 11. Oh, if the president is paying attention to this, now there's... Because I heard they were hitting targets in Iraq. Now, I don't know if... I cannot confirm that. But that's what I heard. I was reading. Not heard, reading. There's so much going on at once here. So that was this afternoon, local time. Now it's nighttime there, but that was earlier in Iran. Wow. This is an old post. Now, this is allegedly was posted 6 minutes ago. Oh my. I hope for the sake of the Iranian people that our president keeps his word and helps them. I really do. Because they are banking on that. I could try to show you. I don't know if I'll be able to find it while this video is playing. Let me see if I can find articles on it. Like this one. All right, let me get rid of that screen for a second. Hold on. A video sent to Iran International shows a man in Tehran symbolically renaming a street after Donald Trump, the President of the United States. Check it out. This is what I mean. Look, he covers the street name with Trump. President Trump Street. Look at that. So there you go. I seen it. I don't know if it was Tusi that brought that up. Again, and I'm not here to promote anybody. That's not what I do. But he is putting out a lot of important information. Tusi TV on the Tube of the U. He is doing one heck of a job. And he's Persian. His parents are in Tehran. And God bless him and his family, and prayers for his parents. But I would suggest, if you want to follow the latest, he's constantly doing news updates regarding Iran, and sometimes other stuff too, of course. But it was, he named it Donald Trump Street. I'm just looking at more. So that it's happening all over the place. I don't know if anything's going to pop off. I thought something might happen with this week. But they might be just sitting back and observing and gathering intelligence. And that's old. That's old. Some of these posts are old. Yeah, that's old. That was the 5th. That was yesterday. It's hard to get the information out of there. And I got to be honest, I'm keeping there's another thing, for those who really follow this stuff, another thing to watch is Flight Radar. There are other sites as well. Just to keep an eye. If you see this air traffic stop, you got to wonder if something's going down. I just want to look in here. Because there were a lot of Russian cargo planes going into Tehran. Like something's up. Now this is a very, very big religious sect. And there's a lot going on here too. What is my dog doing? I'm just looking to see if there's planes here that are unidentifiable. I have them labeled. What is that? Not available. It's their flag, though. And that's... See, you could see the name of the airline here. This one doesn't have anything. This one has one. This one has one. So there's still planes coming in. And it's nighttime now. What is that? That's an Iranian. Not available. Curious to see if there's any U.S. along the border. Drones. So you could see the civilian attachment. Not available. Not available. It's a business jet, but it's not available. But it has a label to it. I'm not seeing any, not that we would see it, because they may not necessarily show it. What is that? Okay. These are big. Yeah, that's an airline. Just curious, keeping an eye. The Iraqi border with Iran. Another place to watch out is the base. The activity. There, see? What's that? Here's one. What is that? Interesting. A stratotanker. Holy shit. You know what that does, right? That's a refueler. That is a refueler. Interesting. Where is that headed? Where did it come from? Oh. Where is that coming from? Because the UK was allowing us. Oh, it came from Qatar. Qatar. Is there any other thing going on? Why is there a Stratocaster heading? A Stratotanker, I mean. Where is it headed? It's going right along the border of Iraq and Iran. That's interesting. I don't know if anybody realizes that's a Stratotanker that close to the border. Where is that going? It's starting to make a little turn. No, let's see. Wow, there's another plane like right. What the hell's going on there? What the Who is this? Germany. That was a little close. Well, not really, because we don't know the altitude difference. What is the altitude on that? 36,000. And what is this one at? 28,000. Still. There is a straddle tanker flying on near the border of Iraq and Iran. Not quite yet, but pretty much it is. It is technically in Iraq, and it ain't far from the border of Iran. And that's a tanker in the air. Holy shit, at nighttime in Iran. What is this tanker doing? That's a U.S. tanker. Straddle tanker. It's a refueler. I'm looking it up now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what that's for. There's a picture of one. That's a refueler. That is what's in the air right now on the Iraq-Iran border. What the hell is that? Oh, no. I got to redo my links later for a show at 2 o'clock. All right, let's go back to Flight Radar. Okay, let's get back. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, we got it. It's right there. It left Qatar or Qatar. And it is closely hugging. Where could that be going? I doubt if it's going to Turkey. Where could that be going? It just left Qatar not too long ago. Right there. And remember what its use is. That's a tanker. And Iran is right here. This is Iraq. And it's right there. And you know the Iranians must be monitoring this. They got a refueler in the air. Is that any indication something's about to go down? I don't know. But that's real curious. I'm curious to see where this tanker ends up. Maybe we should keep an eye out on other areas here. I don't think we have anything there. Fuck is that? Let me try the Persian. Let's look over down by Yemen. Come on, come on. Stop. The UAE. This could get really cray-cray. It really might get cray-cray. I am not saying anything is imminent. I'm just curious. Okay, these are all labeled. What is that? Boeing 737. Where did that leave out of? Okay, this just seems very quiet. There is another area I want to take a peek at. Because there's an island out here. The UK is in control of it. And I'm not seeing anything. So it's just that one that I see right now. There it is. This one. Remember, Iraq, Iran. And that's what's we're tracking right now. That's a refueler. Why would they put a refueler in the air right now? I mean, if you think about it, in such close proximity, and Iraq is not, I wouldn't consider that friendly territory either. This could be an operation that's going on to refuel something going on in Syria. For ISIS or ISIL. This could be something not connected to Iran. This might be more connected to Syria. When I think about it, it's not an assumption to be made that this is connected to this. It could be connected to something in here. The UK and France launched an attack a few days ago. So this is curious. To me, it's very curious. I really, really want to see where this tanker ends up. And if we don't start seeing other assets pop up, but they'll turn that off. They'll turn the transponder off. But why would you put a tanker, a refueler there? You're not doing that for, I don't want to say shits and giggles. You're putting it into hostile territory. Would you just send a tanker into hostile territory or close proximity to Iran like that for nothing? And you know it's got to be, there's an escort of some kind with that tanker. Definitely. It's not just out there by itself. We're just not going to see that. Oh shit. What just happened? They could be playing games. It just changed. They could be putting this out there as a psyop, like a decoy kind of thing. It just changed just now. Look at it now. It just changed direction. They could be putting this out there. Let me try to do this again. Yeah, you see how the line even... That is interesting. Time out. If this is going west, could Syria be it? I'm curious to see about the air traffic in here. Could something be going down in Syria? Or even in Iraq? Anything's possible. Especially if they say that Iran is bringing in Iraqi forces to deter the uprising. They're providing logistical support to fight against protesters. I don't know. I'm speculating completely. But it just went to the west, and it's not even. It doesn't look like it's making a turn back down to Qatar, where it came from, because it came from Qatar, or Qatar. That's where it took off from. Is there anything else in the area? These are all labeled. Yeah, those are labeled. What the hell is this? Is that the same one? What is this? What the heck is going on? Where the hell did this one come from? It's not showing me. What is this? Okay. So there's two of them. There's actually two of them in the air, these tankers. What the hell is this? That's a C-17. There's a lot of U.S. craft in the air. Holy shit, what's going on? This one's probably coming back in to Qatar. Probably. If I had to guess, this one's going to Qatar, coming back. What the hell is that? So it's two of these tankers are out there in a C-17. If I had to bet, this is coming back to land in Qatar. Another non-available. That's a small one. It's a Piper. Now, where's the other one? There it is. There's this one. And there's this one. So 1, 2, 3. This is a tanker. This is a C. I think it's a 17. Yep. So there is definitely movement going on. Does it mean anything? I don't know. This one's got to be coming into Qatar. Where'd it go? Yeah, it just turned down toward. I don't know what it's doing actually. What's the altitude? It's way up. The monies is going back to land. Over here. Right here. If I had to put money on it, he's coming back. He's been in the air for a minute. But what was he doing out there? Is it just putting assets in place? Because you got this one here too. Another tanker. And that's in Iraq. They could just be putting their assets in place. It could be as simple as that. Because this C-17 is coming in too, probably going also to Qatar. This one. Probably heading to Qatar or Qatar. He's got to be coming into land. Oops. Yeah, he's probably coming around to land then. Over here. If I had to guess. It's a good guess. He's coming into land here. But that is a tanker. I mean, if you have a tanker in there, you know what it's used for. So it looks like they're getting these in strategic points in the Middle East to refuel aircraft. Because there was another one going west, and the C-17 is coming in, but that's could be just cargo, supplies, logistical in nature. Doesn't mean much. But these tankers are significant because they're only used for one thing. Yeah, he's probably going along the same flight path coming into Qatar. Where's the other one? Should be right here. There he is. There's another one. That left Qatar. He's heading due west. Again, you never know if they hit targets within Iraq or Syria. Don't know. What is that? That's UAE. What is that? Okay. These are just leaving. Not available. What the hell is that? Okay. There's a label. All right, that's the one that's got me curious. Let's see if this one's coming into land. The money says yes. Yeah, he's coming in. This tanker's coming in. It's flying. It's following the same flight path. That makes sense. What's the altitude? 33. Should start to come down if he's coming in. I'm keeping an eye on the altitude here. he's obviously still over open water. He's still got a little to go. What airline is behind it? What is this? Gulf Air. Bahrain. Up, he's dropping altitude. 32.5. He's definitely coming in. Definitely. Look at the altitude dropping. 32.275. He's starting to come down a little bit. He's definitely landing in. Definite. He's coming in. Oh, my thing is all messed up on TikTok here. What's the altitude now? Oh yeah, he's coming down. So you see the altitude right here? He's dropping. Right there. Dropping. He's coming in to land in Qatar. Right here. Probably right about here. Right in there. So that's where the base is approximately. Yeah, he's dropping. He's coming in. He's coming in for a landing. Where's the other one? He's still here. And that is also another tanker. That's a big boy. You never know. There's spoofing going on. You never know. There's still air traffic in Iran. Plenty. The hell is that? What the hell? That's turning around. What is that? Dubai. That was like weird. Okay, that one has a marking. This one doesn't. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if Iraq is up to something. Or we are planning something in Iraq. Who knows? Because the word is that the Iraqis are supplying militias to Iran to help against the protesters. Another thing too is watch out for this Persian Gulf. They just might try to start some shit there. What's his altitude now? He's probably way down now. 27. He's coming down. I'm really curious. He's got to be coming into Qatar. Yep, altitude is still dropping. We should start seeing more of a turn. Because the base is in here somewhere. We could look it up. $26 almost now. 26 now. 25.7. He's coming in. The reason I'm following it because I want to get a rough idea when his transponder disappears roughly in here. Because I believe that's where it's at, roughly in here. I could look it up. Interesting. Now, is he going out and coming in, or is he going to start turning and coming down? Cutter, cutter. Interesting. He's still dropping. He's at 24.5. It's dropping fast. Look. $23. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go out and come in. Probably because of that plane. What's this plane's altitude? Yeah, GPS altitude is, yeah, he's climbing. They probably didn't want to have any issues here. He's descending. This one's climbing. So they probably had this to come in this way. Yeah, that makes sense. Just being careful with the airspace. As they should. What's the altitude now? 21,450. Yep, starting to make that little turn. Come on. I gotta look this up. Wow. Al Udeid? That's what it says. Al Udeid? Al Udeid? Air Base in Qatar? That's what it says. Al Udeid. We could look that up on. Let me just copy and paste that. Let's see. Hey, you see how he's making the turn? There we go. Let's see. Oh my God. All right, looking at this map, because it's actually confusing the hell out of me. It's just to the west of Doha. So it's down here. This is where the base is, right there. And I'll show you. If this thing slides over, it's right there. United States Air Force is located there, right there. So most likely that's where that tanker is coming into land. Right there. And it's to the west of Doha. West southwest of Doha. So that means he's coming straight down and then he's going to turn into here. I don't think we're going to see it on this map. I don't think this is going to show it, but airport. Map views, default, multi-select. We'll just leave it like that. But that's where he's coming in, most likely. He's coming into land right here at the base, which is right there. That's probably where he's coming in. And that's a tanker, a U.S. tanker, Air Force tanker. Right there. What's his altitude? Yeah, he's coming in. He's at 12,000. And dropping. So we know where he's going. Yeah, there's the turn. He's coming in. He's coming in. Right here. That's where he's headed. Right there. There's the adjustment. This one's going to get out of the way, and he's going to come right in. That's a common sense guess. I mean, where else is he going to go? I mean, he's down to 10,800 feet. And he might go boing, gone. Might disappear. Anyway, we know where he's going. But where's the other one now? And where's that C-17? C-17 is here. Probably also heading to Qatar. But where's the other tanker? The other tanker should be right here somewhere. Way over here. Here's another tanker. Another one. Now, where the heck that's headed, no idea. That's another tanker. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on this. I gotta work soon. There's still plenty of air traffic in Iran. Let's see if we see any Russian aircraft coming into or leaving Tehran. I see the label, I just can't make it out. Iranian. I could see what it says. Dubai. Okay. Fly Dubai. It's also important to see if they shut down their airport from air traffic, something's going down. If they close that airspace around Tehran, then you know something might be popping off too. So you got to watch look for the indicators that something might be going on. Not that I'm saying anything looks like it's going on right now, but these are the things I look for. What is that? Iran. Iran. Alexa, what time is it in Tehran, Iran?
It's 8:19 p.m. in Tehran, Iran.
Interesting.
Right? Tehran's time zone is pretty unique. They're one of the few places that uses a half-hour offset from standard time zones.
Moscow.
Most of the world can't be bothered with anything more precise than full hours. But
Alexa,
Iran said-
stop. Interesting. Where is this going now? Is it landing there? Not available. It left Tehran. So if it left Tehran, what the hell is it doing? Going back? What kind of plane is this? Really? Now it's saying, can we track it? What the hell's going on? Airport disruptions are in Budapest and Antalya. What the hell? Why isn't it giving me the details now? It had. Okay, there we go. So where the hell? It took off from Tehran and made a full circle? What the hell? It didn't land, but it's going to land back in Tehran. If it's not already landed. That is weird. It's right there. It took off and it's landing back at Iran, in Tehran. That's weird. What's that about? And it never landed. It just made like a round trip. A McDonnell Douglas. It's a passenger. But it didn't land. Or did it? I don't think so. Uh-oh. It just disappeared because it probably landed. That's exactly what just happened. It disappeared because it just landed. This is Dubai. But notice now, you don't see any traffic coming out of Tehran in and out now. All of a sudden at 8:20 p.m. local. Who is this? I see the label, but I can't make it out. Iranian. And it was heading toward Tehran. Is it coming into land? Or did they call it off and told it to go somewhere else? I don't know. It's probably coming into land from the west. Probably. It's probably coming this way. But it got awfully quiet in Tehran. Look at the airspace around Tehran. It got quiet. Where's this one going? That's Iranian too. Or is it? No, it's not. It's UAE. They're going over the mountains. Is this one? Okay, it's not heading toward Tehran. This one is. This is Dubai. This one's heading toward Tehran. But it sure did make a sharp turn. Maybe just to clear the airspace, but where is this one going to go around and come in this way? It's not like there's any other airspace going on here. Activity. Why wouldn't it just take a shorter cut coming into Tehran? It doesn't make sense. You've been watching Oreo. What's up? I know. It's crazy, Oreo. I know. I've been talking about this all morning. I gotta check my phone because I'm getting all kinds of messages and I'm not paying attention. Which I really don't. Oh, my freaking leg is killing me. You know when your phone is so annoying and you just don't want to pay attention to it? You know, it's like super annoying, like you could hear right now. I'm not seeing anything. Hold on, what's this? Because I have Telegram too, and I watch what's coming in from Israel and stuff. Tusi was live. Or could still be live, I don't know. Iranian military and police defect. We've seen that on some of those videos. I hope Mike's all right, my friend. What the hell? Ugh, that's gross. That's gross. I gotta call my friend. I gotta work soon. Life flight not found. Interesting. It stopped right there. That's interesting. It just disappeared. They shut their transponder off.
Please leave your message for...
Look how quiet it is right now around Tehran. But there's still activity here. Baghdad. I'm just checking to see if anything else is coming into Tehran. scheduled at least to come in. This one is. Let's see what happens with this one. It's a passenger. Where's this one headed? Tehran 2 from Dubai. So there's 2 coming in. 1, 2. If they are diverted for some stupid reason, it looks like he's starting to make a turn toward Tehran, then you know something's going down. But if they're diverted, now that one's heading toward wherever the hell that is. I don't know where that is. That's the passenger one. All right, let me check where that tanker is, U.S. tanker is. Where'd he go? He must be more to the... Where did he go? Where is the U.S. tanker? It was down here. Where did it go? Where did the U.S. tanker go? It couldn't have went that far. Where the hell did the U.S. tanker go? Or did it shut its transponder? Something might be going off in Syria. It couldn't have gone this far. Where did the U.S. tanker go? What is that? No. It had a U.S. logo. Where did the tanker go? Holy shit, it disappeared. The other one landed in Qatar. Let me see if there's anything else going on from this base. Because the base is right here. What is that? Not available. It's just doing a bunch of loops, circling. But where did the other tank? Oh, what's that? That's the C-17 coming in. Yeah, that's going to Qatar too. That's the C-17. Yeah. But where did the Strata tanker go? They might be doing an operation in Syria. ISIS. I'm not seeing the U.S. plane anymore. The tanker. It was here. But it ain't here anymore. And it would be a big plane on the screen. Look at UPS. Not available. He couldn't have been, there's no way. No way. It disappeared. There was another strata tanker. It's not showing now. It flew into here, and then it started to go west. The last time I seen it was right around here, unless it landed, which is possible. But where would it land? That is so freaking curious. Those are all labeled. Weird. Really weird. Something might be popping off today. Stop it. Something might be popping off in Syria today. That has labels. Okay. Those all have labels. You can see the labels. They're tiny, but you can see them. See the label? It's hard to see it, but they're there. Now let me go check on that Iranian plane heading toward Tehran. Come on, come on, come on. It's still on the way. It's definitely coming into land. What is this though? A Russian plane going to Dubai. But yeah, this one's coming into land in Tehran. I don't know where that one's going, but I don't think that's... I'm looking at the air traffic around Tehran. This is heading toward Baghdad. That plane just disappeared, landing in Tehran. Oh, now it came back up. This one. So this one is definitely look like it's coming into land in Tehran. I see what you're writing, Oreo. Otherwise, there's really no traffic coming in and out of Iran. Tehran, at least, the capital. This is the only one coming in. But anything that's in the air that was scheduled, it would be diverted. What's this one? Where's this one going? Tehran? Nope, Moscow. Dubai to Moscow. Is there anything else look like it's coming in this direction? Nope. Riyadh. Nope. So this is the only... Where was this one going again? You can see the labels. That's a Dubai. Okay, it's going to Moscow. So this is it that I can see in the immediate area coming into Tehran. This one. That's it. Alexa, what time is it in Tehran, Iran?
It's 8:38 p.m. in Tehran, Iran.
8.5 hours ahead of me. 8:38. But it's interesting how that tanker, that straddle tanker, disappeared, turned off. Here, now you see me, now you don't. Now, could that be an operation is about to begin somewhere in the region, like Syria? I don't. Even ISIS in Iraq, something's going down. Maybe. I'm speculating, but there was a lot of well, not a lot. There was 2 Stratocasters in the air, straddle tankers in the air. One returned back to Qatar. The other one was there in southern Iraq and then disappeared. That could mean anything. That could be just a decoy or psyop. It could be anything. Could be spoofing. Could be anything. Yeah, he's turning. He's coming into land. He's going to disappear soon. He's coming into land in Tehran. And it is almost 8:40 local time, so I gotta go to work soon, do some shows. I would keep an eye. I would definitely keep an eye. Literally. If you have Flight Radar or some other application to look at the air traffic, that's an indicator. When you start seeing things shut down their airspace, you know something's about to go down. That's why I watch this. When it happened with Israel and Iran during the summer, this was the indicator. You saw all the planes avoiding the entire area. You see this traffic in Iraq? This was gone. This was gone. All this traffic was gone. They were going around the other way and coming down. So there's still a lot of air traffic here. And yeah, there's still traffic in Iran. And you always got to watch Israel's airspace too. If they close down, then they're expecting something about to pop off in their country. So these are like the indicators. What is that? Is that UK fighters? Those are UK fighters. What the fuck? Oh yeah. The Typhoons, where are they headed? Syria? What's going on? What is going on? Why? Because they launched an attack with the French in Syria. What is going on? Why would there be UK fighters coming in? It could be decoy. That's what I said before. It could be psyop. Totally. It also could be something potentially is going on in Syria because we had a tanker in the air. This could be a joint exercise. Now, this just flew over Israel. And it's entering Jordan. So what is going on? A tanker disappears, U.S. tanker. This could be a joint exercise in Syria. It's about to enter Jordan. Interesting. What's the altitude of them? 2,700. 27,000. Keep an eye on that. Are they going to stay up? Are they coming in to land somewhere in Jordan? I don't think so. Or are they heading up there? I don't know. Or are they heading to Iraq? It looks like they're going toward Jordan. But could something be going down in Syria? Because our tanker was here when it disappeared. And now you've got UK fighters coming in. And we had a tanker here and then it just went bloop, gone. A refueler, one of ours. Something might be going down in Syria. There's two of them. But like you said, it could be a decoy. It could definitely be a decoy. Anything is possible. It's all speculation. But there are two of them. At least that we can see. Oh, what is that? What is this? What is this UK one? Tell me this is a support one. I'll bug out. Not available. Military. Holy shit. The UK is moving assets in. Holy shit. The UK is moving in assets. It's trailing their fighters. What is this? That's the Royal Air Force. This is... Okay, that ain't nothing. But there it is. The UK is moving in. Where are they headed? It looks like they're heading into Jordan. Will they turn up towards Syria or heading to Iraq? What the fuck is going on? I gotta see what type of plane this is. I'm not familiar with the UK stuff. What is this? Airbus KC-2 Voyager. Airbus. Airbus. Let's just put Voyager. UK. What is this? Refueling! It's another refueler! Holy shit, it's another refueler! We had one there, and now they got one there. Something might be going down. Our refueler disappeared, and theirs is coming in. Something coordinated might be going on. Because ours was in this vicinity too, and now they got theirs in the vicinity. Something might be going down, and it's not Iraq. I mean, it's not Iran. I bet you this has to do with Syria. Or it could be doing with, it could be Iraq. It could be Iraqi ISIS targets. I don't know. It's not Iran. This is not an Iranian thing. Oh, they're starting to make a little turn. But that's a refueler. We had a refueler. And our refueler disappeared right in the same freaking area. Where are they going? Holy shit. Our refueler disappeared off flight radar right about, unless it shows up again, right about here. I lost it. Uh-oh. What just happened? Okay. I lost the refuelers there. Look at their refueler here. And there they're Typhoons. I don't know. This could be, again, just an exercise, spoofing, psyop, showing them we're here. But they're sending their refuelers in the air. But they have to, because they got to refuel these planes going back to the UK. Where did they take off from? Let's see where this guy came from. It took off from here. Not too far. Holy shit. RAF, whatever that name is. So they got a base there. Holy shit. Shit looks like it might be popping off. Something might be going on. Or maybe just an exercise. Simple. Because only 2 are showing up, but that doesn't mean there's not more there. Absolutely not. But where are these typhoons headed? Where are they headed? Because that will tell you where they're doing their patrolling. Like, what is their objective? They are on radar currently. It's not popping off for the next bit. It may not be popping off at all. It really doesn't mean much. This could just simply be a military exercise, patrolling the area, doing surveillance. Who knows? You can't speculate. You can't speculate whether it's popping off or not, KJ. That's impossible. It's a total speculation. That's why I'm being careful too, because it's all speculation. We don't know. Obviously, we don't know. But it is strange that the United States had a fueler in the air and disappeared in the same area as of right where we are right now. And this. Of course we wouldn't go on radar. That's why they turned their transponders off. But they do this for obvious reasons. They want to be seen. But they'll turn it off when they want to. Like the U.S. just did. It's not so much about something popping off or not popping off. Where are they going before they disappear? If they disappear at all. Again, total speculation. It could be anybody's guess. What the intention is here. Don't know. I'm seeing if there's any other U.S. craft in the area. The one disappeared. The other one landed at Qatar. The other one probably is landing in Qatar now. That was a C-17. It's probably landed by now. It was close to here. There's our base. That's actually our base, by the way. There was one coming in. There it is. C-17. Coming to land in Qatar. Right there. But there was a tanker in the air right where the UK ones are. And it disappeared. And it was a refueler. That's why I'm curious. They got a refueler in the air with aircraft too. Wow, this thing is reacting very slow right now. Like really bad. Really bad. I may have to refresh it. It's acting a little wonky. I gotta go soon. I gotta do a show. I'm gonna refresh. Yeah, that's better. The refueler is turning. Let's see if we see anything else offshore coming from that area. No. No. The refuel is turning. Towards Syria. They have all kinds of different aircraft that could, like, block radar, and it depends what's in the air. And like you said, we would not see a lot. If they were really planning something, we wouldn't see it. They would not show themselves. But this is curious. Oreo's bugging out in there. Okay, the refuel is turning more toward the northeast, while these two are coming down. I think that's a joint base too in Qatar that the UK also has. Uh-oh. What's that about? It just made a turn more toward... What's going on? They're heading more toward the northeast. Interesting. I was waiting to see if they made the turn. And what's up there? Syria. And where's their refueler? Here. What the fuck is that? That just popped in. That's German. No? That's military. Yes, it is German. There's another military craft in the fucking area. Germans. Something might be going down. But it's Syria. That just popped up. There are a lot of allies flying in this area right now. And look who's in the neighborhood. Syria. Mr. Teko? Well, you have to remember, do you think they're going to warn them about closing the airspace? Or do you think they depend on themselves to see what's going on here, what's about to happen, and then close their airspace? Doesn't necessarily work that way, KJ. That they got to warn them to shut their airspace. No, that's on Syria to monitor what's going on and close their airspace because they believe that something's coming. The country of origin has to do that. Not like, okay, I'm coming in. You got to have to close your airspace. I'm about to come in. Doesn't work that way. It's on that country to monitor with their radar systems and say, we need to clear the airspace. Something's coming. Like Iran would do. They would shut it off if they thought they were going to be attacked. Or if they picked something up, of course they would. Or other airlines would say, okay, we just got warned that something may pop off in the region. We need to avoid that airspace. There's so many different variables with that. So that's not necessarily the case. And it could, like you just said, I don't know why we would get multiple countries on them unless it's just intimidating. Of course it could be. It could be a show of force. Intimidation, psyop. There's no doubt. It doesn't have to be anything's popping off. They could just be doing this. But it's damn strange that you got an American refueler that disappeared. You have a UK refueler. You've got typhoons. Who knows what else we don't see going on right here. Another thing too is you look at these planes, if these planes started to make sharp turns to get out of this area, then that would be another indicator. This would be about ISIS or ISIL. That's what this would be about. If it was Syria. But I don't know. It's all, like I said, I could speculate on so many different scenarios. Who knows what the heck is going on right now? You could speculate. Who knows? Now, I seen somewhere that a drone, an American drone, was shot down near the Afghanistan-Iran border. I cannot confirm that. I seen that. I don't know if that's true. So who knows? You just because you see something or read something doesn't make it true. Because there's a lot of propaganda, all that out there. So you take everything with a grain of salt. You have to. Because you just don't know. Had to go run and work. I'm back listening. So some interesting things going on, Witch Moon. There was a U.S. tanker, a refueler, that was heading west, and then it disappeared. Now you've got a UK refueler and two typhoons and a German military plane on the screen right there that I was tracking. You see it? The Airbus Atlas, German, military or government. So the Germans are in the air. The UK are in the air. The United States had a tanker, a refueler in the air that disappeared. I'm not saying something's going to happen here, but it sure is a coincidence that you have the Germans, the UK, and the Americans in this same area at the same time right now there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. Anything's going to pop off. All I'm saying, it's really curious how they all ended up right here. And look where it's headed. Right? It looks like it's going right towards Syria. Syria's here. And the UK and France already hit an underground facility a few days ago in Syria. I'll pull it up. That's why when you pay attention to what's going on, you have to put you could speculate to a certain point. This was 3 days ago with the same typhoons, and they went in, the typhoons were supported by a Voyager refueling tanker. Exactly what we're seeing on the screen right now. And they hit targets in Syria. Exactly the same setup we're seeing right now. Royal Air Force Typhoon jets have joined French aircraft in a joint strike on an underground arms cache in Syria, used by the Islamic State, because this could be sent over to Iran to help them, supply them. They go back and forth. They use those kind of bombs. But the typhoons were supported by a Voyager refueling tanker. Well, what the hell's going on here right now? That's a Voyager refueler, and you've got typhoons. It's the same setup. The same exact setup. And they're racing somewhere. So, can we not speculate quite a bit that the same thing might be happening today, a few days later? They already did it 3 days ago with the same exact setup you're seeing right now. Oh, there goes. That's interesting. That plane just went off. What are the typhoons doing? It could be bluster. It could be bluster. It could just be a matter of psyop, intimidation, like KJ was saying. Exactly. It could simply be a recon. Definite. Again, we just don't know. We're here. We're watching you make one wrong move, and we're coming after you. See us? We're here. But again, it's the Voyager refueler and the Typhoons, the same thing that happened 3 days ago. And we don't even know what the hell else is going on because we can't see. I wouldn't be surprised if those Typhoons disappear and the Voyager. I would not be surprised. They go disappear because what the fuck is that? Oh, that's just... See if it's that... Oh, shit. That plane just did a big-ass turn away from... Where was that going? What the hell? Where did that come from? What the hell? But that's heading to Riyadh. But this is frozen. They're frozen. This one's still showing movement. Let's see. Let's zoom in. I think they are still showing movement. Or are they? Or are they? This is going to disappear. The refueler's in the air. I would not doubt these disappear and this disappears. The refueler's still in the air. Something might go on and then this one will refuel it and they go back. I don't know. I'm speculating. The German craft is still going. This plane is just getting out of Dodge. Look. They're not moving. I should refresh. Not really, because this one is showing movement. Those are frozen. These are going to disappear. This one's still showing movement. And notice how it's doing parallel to Syria. It's not entering Syrian territory. It's being careful for that. It's not taking a chance to go into Syrian territory. But the other ones are frozen. Meaning they may disappear. They're still showing, but they're not moving. They are not moving. This one is. Oh, okay, I was going to say where'd it go. See? You can see this one's still moving. And it's pulling away from the border. It's starting to pull away a little bit. But what are these two? No longer moving. So some ship might be going down right now. And the refueler's waiting. It could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as that. Because we're not getting any update on those Typhoons. We can see the movement of the Voyager refueler, but we're not seeing any movement on those Typhoons, which means last known location is there, and they might be doing something right now. We just don't know. I wonder what area of Syria they hit. Was it in the south? Because it sure seems that way. We're going to have to pay attention to the news. What is this? I'm on Jordan. From Libya to Jordan. Okay. But they're not moving. Let's see if we see any other aircraft. Like US. or French again. I'm not seeing anything. Nada. Doesn't mean they're not there. Just means they're not showing up. That refueler disappeared. It's got me bugged out. The US refueler. And there is nothing. Oh, what's that US one? Is that the refueler? Wait a minute. What is this? No. That's something else. That was from... Okay, that's not... That's probably a business... No, it says military government. That's their main air. I don't think that's anything. Yeah. See, the base is down here. I want to check this border. Oh shit. Wait a minute. They disappeared. I knew it. They disappeared. They're gone. Just like I knew they would be gone. Gone. They disappeared. Something's going on. Let's see if there's any U.S. planes or drones doing surveillance along the Iranian-Iraq border. There's two planes overlapping. They're from two different countries. I could see their marking. These are all heading down to the south. Those will have labels. So do those. So does that one. So does that one. Okay, so this looks like a UK thing. I don't see a label on that. What is that? Erbil from Syria. Can you imagine seeing those typhoons appear here? All of a sudden, they did what they did in here, whatever they're doing, and then come back to refuel, and then go. This is some wild shit that could be going on right now. We could hear this in the news later. UK hits ISIS targets in Syria. Gonna have to pay attention later. It's very possible. We could be actually seeing an operation going on right now. Right now. Because it's the same setup from 2 days ago. Typhoons, a Voyager refueler. It's the same setup. It's the same thing. The refueler's waiting. The refueler, it's the same thing. It's the Voyager, their refueler. It's the same setup that happened 3 days ago when they hit targets in Syria. An underground facility or an underground storage. That is a really interesting question, what China does with Taiwan now. They're watching, sitting back what the United States is doing, and they're saying, shit, we need to make a move on Taiwan. The President of the United States is on steroids. He's going all out everywhere. Are we just going to sit back and wait? Look what he's doing. I think we should make a move. Especially if he thinks we're involved, Xi thinks we're involved in so many different things where we're stretched thin. They can make the wrong kind of I would say analysis saying the United States is so overwhelmed in all the shit they're involved with, they're not gonna fuck with us. They're too thin. Spread out. I don't know. Who knows? But I think China is definitely thinking that over right now. Do we make a move on Taiwan now? Look what the U.S. is talking about. Taking Greenland, what they're doing in Venezuela. What happens if shit goes off in Iran and the supreme leader falls? And we accelerate that by hitting targets, IRGC targets, to neutralize them from being even used against their own people. There's a lot going on here. So the Donroe Doctrine is about the Western Hemisphere. China's going to say, fuck it, we got to take care of our own backyard. Let's take Taiwan. Look what the United States is doing. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, you can speculate all you want, but the United States is making quite a few moves here. And Russia has to think twice, too. You know, this shit going back and forth, we're trying to make a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Well, what if the United States says, okay, I had enough, screw Putin, screw Russia, now we're going to get involved in Ukraine and help them fight you off. Because there's a lot of minerals there. There's trillions of dollars worth. Because it seems like a lot of this has to do with minerals and oil and resources. Is that another angle we'll take? I don't know. Or we just leave them on their own and worry about our backyard, Cuba, other areas, Mexico, Colombia, things like that. I don't know. That's why all of this is moving rapidly, and you have to keep an eye. Because you think they're just going to sit back and watch and do nothing while the United States is making so many moves? I don't know. I don't know. Oreo. What's up, Marco? So, the typhoons disappeared from right about here. Same setup as 3 days ago. The UK refuel is right here, the Voyager. Same setup as a few days ago when they hit targets in Syria. There's the Voyager refueler. Right here. There's their refueler. The two typhoons disappeared off right about here. They're probably hitting targets right now in Syria. Same thing. There were two typhoons and the Voyager. I showed the article. What happened 3 days ago is the same setup. Now, do I know for a fact? Absolutely not. But it's the same setup as 3 days ago. And it's happening right now. Let's see. Here, look. It's the same setup. This is from the BBC. Typhoons. Right? Look. The typhoons were supported by a Voyager refueling tanker. That's exactly what we just seen here. Just the same thing. I mean, there's the Voyager, and we saw the two typhoons disappear here. They're probably hitting targets right now somewhere in Syria, and the refueler's waiting for them. And they're doing their thing, and they're going to go back. So now that refueler is in Iraq. So something's going down in here. Something's going down with those typhoons. I would pretty much put money on it. So again, I'm making an assumption. I have absolutely no proof that this is actually going on, but based on what happened a few days ago with the same setup, I mean, it doesn't take much to conclude that this is possibly happening again. Don't know. I'm curious, because I got to go soon, very soon. I'm curious if we see these typhoons reappear to get refueled all of a sudden by that tanker right there. Do we automatically see them pop up again? They're done with their mission, doing what they're doing, and then going to Iraq to get refueled, and then head back? That's what I want to see. I want to see if the typhoons reappear near the tanker or heading toward that tanker to get refueled to head back. Because that tank is going out quite a distance now. So if that's the case, the shit is popping off with these typhoons, and then it's gonna cut across and meet this here somewhere? Or is this thing gonna go out, and if it starts to make a circle, is that to meet up with those typhoons? Because this thing is still moving along. Do we see the typhoons reappear all of a sudden? Or do we see it start to make a turn, and that is an indicator that it's about to meet up with those typhoons and refuel them to head back? I don't know. But later on this evening, we may hear about UK strikes targets in Syria, ISIL targets in Syria. And we just witnessed it kind of in real time, the operation. Very possible. Because they got to get all the way back to Greece. They got to get back to this RAF, Royal Air Force Base right here, where they took off. Right there. Royal Air Force. I can't see that. Akrotiri? I can't see that. That monitor is far. So they got to get back. It's a nice little trip. Thus the refueler. To get them back. So, yeah, you got to worry about your weather tomorrow, really. It's going to, tomorrow afternoon, KJ, you better watch your weather in Tennessee. There's actually the possibility of severe storms, western Tennessee, tomorrow. I checked it earlier. And I got to get my fire up again. And I got to go soon. I got a show soon, less than an hour. Get ready. That's a UAE. So I'm still not seeing any. So you know the typhoons are in Syria somewhere right now. That's a given. Somewhere in Syria, shit is. I wonder. They're not going to say anything till after. They're not. Because it's an ongoing operation. But by this afternoon, late, early evening, you might hear news coming out that there was another operation by the UK in Syria. Similar to the one they did with the French 3 days ago. I would not doubt it. And I'm getting off in about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, because I got to go, but I really want to see if we see the typhoons reappear. Because that tanker is still chugging It's still going. And you can see these are labeled. It's hard to see the labels, but you can see them. See, these got the labels on them. And if we took this off, you would see the label here. UK Royal Air Force, right there. So we know what that is. We just don't know where the Typhoons are. They could be anywhere. They could be anywhere. In here. The Typhoons are in Syria right now. Whatever their mission is, I don't know. Okay. Ah, oh, I thought that was the tanker making the turn. It's not. It's still chugging in Iraq. Ah. Hold on. Interesting. This may disappear now. The tanker might disappear. It froze. That's what happened with the Typhoons. That may go bye-bye because it's the mission. Whatever happened, you might now it might be going back to meet up with those Typhoons. It froze. Usually when it freezes, well, this one froze too now. No, okay. See? You're not seeing movement. You see movement on this one. You're not seeing movement on that. So I would not be surprised that goes bye-bye to meet up with the Typhoons. I would not doubt it at all. If I refresh it, it might be gone. Might be off the screen. It's still showing. But it ain't moving. But it's still showing. But it ain't moving. It's frozen. So that will probably likely disappear. Because it's going to rendezvous with the Typhoons. You know? This is always on this platform with Flight Radar, Oreo. When they freeze like that, this is common. I would not doubt within the next minute that just goes bye-bye. Because usually that's an indicator. When it locks up like that, last known, and it might even come up with a box. Aircraft no longer, information no longer available on Flight Radar. It pops up. It shuts itself down. It shut its transponder. It's that exactly. It's military ops stuff. That's what they do. It's actually common. Yeah, I was covering all that oil tanker earlier. I even was showing video of the seizure of the tanker from 2 different angles. Actual footage earlier. But I cannot do it again because I gotta go. I actually showed the actual footage when it was seized near Iceland. With Russian ships nearby, including a submarine. But they just observed. but they showed themselves. It's still there. Not moving, but it's still there. It's still in the same spot. And I also showed a bunch of stuff coming out of Iran. KJ. No, they just observed. They did nothing. They came out with a statement. The Russian, I forgot what minister, came out with a statement about it. I did all that earlier. Yeah, but this thing is locked up. Anyway, I need to get the heck off. Oh no, what is this? Okay. All right. See? There it is. That's the exact notification I was waiting for. Bye-bye. I was waiting for that. See? Predictable. Gone. Just like I predicted. Gone. I'm seeing if I get any information coming in. All right, that's it. Whatever happened, happened. Keep an eye on the news later. Keep an eye on the news later, because we may have just indirectly witnessed a UK operation in Syria. So wait a couple of hours, few hours, the UK might come out with a press release stating that they, or their media, or some media, stating that the UK struck targets in Syria again, ISIS targets, blah, 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 blah. We literally just may have witnessed it indirectly. We didn't see it, obviously, but it looks like something went down. For real. That's why flight radar is an interesting thing to use to observe air traffic when you see, like, I gotta go, but Tehran, if you see things going down where the airspace starts to get quiet in certain areas and you look, or in Israel, if you see Tel Aviv, planes not going in and out, you know, you look for the air traffic. There's plenty of air traffic still here in Iraq, border of Iran. There's still air traffic. But the shit looks like it went down here. That's where it looks like it went down, somewhere in here. Just now. So it was Syria again, by the UK. So we'll see. Anyway, all of you, have a great day. Be well, be blessed, be safe. I'll be back on later tonight because I got to do a bunch of shows now. So I'll see everybody later. And just keep an eye on the news. It's like stuff is going on all the time. Tankers, Venezuela, Greenland, Iran, Syria. Who knows? Keep an eye on Taiwan, Ukraine. I mean, the list, it just goes on. Keep an eye on Mexico and Colombia and all the other stuff. Even Cuba. Cuba too. Keep an eye on Cuba. Because that might be the big one coming the next few months. Watch Cuba. Witch Moon, you have a great one. Oreo, anybody else who may be watching, KJ, anybody on TikTok, of course. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Love to all of you and your